Howdy folks, Fast Wheels here. I'm going to be doing a review on the Easwe L10. I think that's how you pronounce the name. Easwe, S-Way, E-A-S-W-E. However you're supposed to pronounce it. Just got this in yesterday. It's a pretty nice looking chair. The bottom of it, as you see, almost kind of looks like a Indy race car. The footrest here, it slides in and out for depending to adjust for your height. It does seem to me to be a little bit kind of cheaply made. It's just the way it rattles around and the way it feels. I don't really know that I trust it for too much. The front wheels, I've never seen these before. I've seen pictures of them, never up close, but they're kind of neat. It's hard to tell just from looking at it, but each one of these little pieces spins, so it makes it so that the front wheels don't turn at all. It just pivots on them. Now then, going to the upper part, now I've added a cup holder and a wheelchair pouch over there, just for holding little knickknacks. It's pretty nicely built, very well designed. I'm 6'6", weigh 230 pounds, and it's a pretty good fit for me. The control panel, you just pop it on and you will hear it.
Welcome.
It does talk to you when you
turn
anything on, and it said light on. It's got a little LED light down here that plugs in the charging port.
Light off.
It can get irritating because everything you do, it makes a noise. So you push this button here.
Turn off the notice.
And it shuts it off. You have to do that every time you start it. It does move really very easily. And as I said, this is the way those front wheels work. Very easily. It's not super loud. It's got the external battery here, and it does have a key. You need the key to unlock it and lock it before you remove it. I recommend not keeping it there, because if you lose the key, you can't remove the battery, and that's kind of an important feature. My wheelchair pouch bag here, it has a lanyard for keys. I have it sticking out, and that's where I keep the keys at. But just keep the keys tucked away someplace where you're not going to lose them, and you can always get at it. Now, to fold it, it's very simple. You take out the cushion, which the cushion is, again, kind of cheaply made, but it's comfortable enough. And you simply just push the back down, which, as you can see, you can do that with just a finger. Then down here, there's a lever. It's just like an office chair. You push it up and then you push down. That takes a little bit of weight to do, but again, very simple to do. And then with the armrests, you have to pull them out like that and rotate them down, and then they rotate back up and they'll automatically pop in. To unfold it, you push that button and lift up, and again, as you see, I'm just using 2 fingers to do that. That's maximum height, and just flip the backrest up. It does have a seat belt if you choose to use it, and then just pop the seat cushion back in place. Overall, it's a very nice chair, especially for the price. I do like it. I haven't taken it outside yet. I've just run it around inside the house. It takes about 5.5 hours to charge, and leave it on for an extra half an hour according to the manual, just to make sure that it is fully charged. And so with the footrest, it extends out pretty far, and I've got a 36-inch inseam, and I've got plenty of leg room with the seat all the way up and the footrest fully extended. I'm going to take it for a ride in a little bit, and I'll bring the camera along. And we've got I've got a very steep driveway. We'll check and see if it's capable of going up and down the driveway, and we'll check out the speeds. Okay, now we're coming down the driveway. It's very steep. One issue I've found already is threshold going out of the house. It cannot clear that. I need to have somebody give me a push to get past it. That's a big negative. Goes down the hill without a problem. Turn around and go back up. That's my service dog Achilles. Oh, we are having a really hard time getting up this hill. Really hard time getting up. Alright, there we go. I think that's the problem. I was in first gear and it was not happy. You can tell it's a little bit on the loud side. But otherwise, not too bad. Okay, right now I am at, oh, let's see here, 3.6 kilometers it says, and it's 2.35 miles. The controls, you can see a problem with this thing. Now I'm left-handed, I'm using my right hand to operate the controls. The owner's manual said that it's easy to switch it over, but I can't see any way of switching it to the left without tearing the whole thing apart. So far, uneven terrain like we're coming up on here, it gets a little bit squirrely, but it seems to manage. Cut-ins and whatnot, it handles pretty good. I've noticed something on the joystick where I'm going downhill. It almost looks like it might have regeneration braking, because it shows charging. At this trip, see it, like I said, and the control is saying in kilometers per hour, kilometers. I don't know off the top of my head quick translations. It's showing 3.7 kilometers in, and I'm down 1 bar. The wheels that are on it, they're neat, but I can feel it when I hit bumps. It kind of wants to turn to the left or the right a little bit, depending on how it hits. Overall, it's not a bad chair. It's handling pretty good. I think I'm averaging about 3.5 miles an hour. When I'm going downhill, I get up to about 3.6. It's a good chair so far. Achilles is adapting well. I can't really hold his leash when I'm walking, so I just got it strapped across my chest, and he's staying right there beside me on the hill. He is a very well-trained service dog. Overall, I'm liking this chair. It definitely seems like it's more for inside than outside. Leaving the house, it was a little bit difficult. Thresholds, it wouldn't go over top. But again, I was in first gear when I was going out of the house. When I go back in, I'm going to try it in second gear. I keep it going, keep it slow indoors, because it's just, whoa, had a hard time making that turn. Yeah, when I'm indoors, it's kind of difficult for me to get used to doing this. I'm used to a manual wheelchair, and I can turn on a dime. But otherwise, you know, like I said, it's a good chair. I like it, especially for the price. All right, now we're checking to see how this thing does on crushed granite. This is a walking path near my home, and it's a place where I normally do walk Achilles. The route I'm taking is a little bit shorter than normal, but it's basically the normal route for taking my dog for a walk in the mornings. So far, it seems to be handling the crushed granite pretty good. It's crushed granite, if you're not familiar with it, it's just exactly what it is. As I said, it's crushed granite. It compacts pretty well, and it makes for a decent surface for walking, running, or even on wheels. And the chair seems to be handling it pretty good. I'm going to be curious to take a look at the wheels later to see how much of the granite gets sucked up inside. I'll take a look at all that when I get home and let you know then. Alright, now we're going up a steep hill in the neighborhood. My speed is reduced down to 5.3 kilometers an hour, which is 3.3 miles an hour. I've gone 5 kilometers so far, which is 3.5 miles, and I'm down to 3 bars on the battery. So it is using a little bit more power than I expected, so I don't think the range is going to be what they advertise. But if you're just tooting around inside the house or going shopping at the mall, I think it'll be just fine. Okay, going up that next steep hill, I went down to 4.5 miles an hour and I dropped 1 bar in power. It definitely has regenerative, because going downhill afterwards, I went back up 1 bar. So I guess that's a positive. I was starting to get nervous whether I'd make it home. I've got about a mile till I get back home, so it's tight. I guess I can give you my final views. Overall, I definitely do approve of this chair. I think it's a good chair for what it is intended for. It obviously does have a couple of faults, as I said. The foot plate seems kind of chintzy. A little bit of the construction material here and there just seems kind of eek. But overall, it's a good chair. As you see, it fits me well. I've got my 64-ounce Yeti attached to it without any problems. I've got a side pouch over here on the other armrest, and you know, it does well. It fits in the house well. It moves around in the house well. It's light enough where it can be loaded by 1 or possibly 2 people, depending on how strong your help is. It is a little bit on the heavy side. My guess is about 60-65 pounds, thereabouts, and that's before I put the bags on. It's got a lot of nice little options. It's a very good looking chair. The range is not quite what I was expecting. I don't know if it's because I was outside in areas that have hills and whatnot, but you know, I honestly think that a chair should be able to handle hills. Everybody, when they're out walking in their neighborhoods or whatever, you're gonna deal with hills in the road, hills in the sidewalks, cut-ins, and it should be able to handle that. I do believe it is just a little bit underpowered. According to the manual, it has 2 200-watt motors. I have no doubt about that, but it needs a little bit more. I'd say maybe if it had 300 watts for each motor, maybe that'd be better. Speed is good. It's a little bit faster than a walking pace, and you honestly don't need to go faster than a walking pace. Like I said, I like the chair. It's very simple to fold up. It's very simple to unfold. Charging time is on par with this size battery, which is about 5 to 6 hours. Maneuverability is pretty good. It's my first time with these style front wheels, which I showed earlier in the video, and that gives a weird feeling. It's not bad, it's not good, it's just, you know, you can feel it kind of bumping a little bit as it's turning. If you're turning on carpet on first, second gear, the motors are straining. You need to be in a higher gear to turn when you're on carpet, which I do have carpeting in my house in several areas. As I said, it's a good chair. I do give it a good solid 4 stars. I do tend to point out some of the negatives so that people don't think that I'm just being lenient towards the company, but it is what it is. And everything has its positives, everything has its negatives. And I honestly think that this chair has more positives than it does negatives. And this was purchased for me for after recovery from a major surgery where I'm not going to be able to use my arms to move my manual wheelchair. And I'm going to need something like this for in the house. And here, you can probably hear trying to turn on the carpet. Yeah, and like I said, it's nothing bad. It's just, it is what it is. But I would recommend buying it. It's a good chair, especially for the price. It will get you around inside your home without any problems and charging it at night when you go to bed. And it should be able to last you inside your house or out shopping or going to doctor's appointments, whatever, on a full charge. But that's all. Y'all have a great day. Lots of love.